welcome to the Woolly Wonka Fibers podcast. My name is Anne, and this video podcast is about my indie design business, my knitting, spinning, some other crafty good things. Today is, Tuesday, November 1st, so happy day after Halloween, kind of kicking off the official the holidays season. Hope everyone had a great Halloween, whether you had a small party or went out with your kids or dressed up and went to work or just handed out goodies. Really quiet night here. My husband is out on travel again. Today, though, has been the first day in several weeks that it has not been in the upper 70s here, which is really warm for us this time of year. It's been, I think, 20 degrees almost above normal most days. So today it's at least in the low 60s right now. It's a little overcast. I have a sweater on. It feels nice, really like fall is trying to get here. So let's see. I have a bunch of things to talk about today. Just to give you guys kind of a quick summary, I'm going to talk about my projects right up at the front end, and then we'll get into some shop stuff because there's a lot of things going on in the shop for the end of the year into 2017 to make you guys aware of. And then that way, if you're just interested in the projects, you can kind of pop in and see those, and then skip the end if you're not interested in shop news. So let's just get started. I have an FO to share with you guys. This is the Isabella Shawl. This is the final shawl in my Heroines Shawl Club for 2016. This is a square lace piece. It has the traditional center, kind of a open lacy pattern. And then there are two borders worked around it. One that's kind of a mountain range border, and then a pine tree border. And this is worked in my Artio Sock in the colorway Ponderosa. This is a superwash Blueface Luster and silk blend 50/50. One of my favorites for shawls because you can see it has a gorgeous drape and it blocks out really nicely. The shawl was inspired by an English woman named Isabella Bird, and if you have not read her memoirs and travel accounts, they are a ton of fun, really interesting, especially if you've visited any of the places that she mentions in her books. A Lady's Trip Through the Rocky Mountains is my favorite, but she also toured Hawaii and the Middle East and eventually went on to Asia. And this was all at the end of the 19th century, so late 1800s. She was a very independent woman. She apparently was a wonderful horsewoman, so she has a place in my heart because of that. And she also was a knitter. Some of her descriptions about waiting for trains and she pulls her knitting out and she's working on a project, I think, resonate even with those of us today. So a very interesting woman, somebody I think we all could probably take a few pages from her personal source book about how to live life to the fullest. So anyway, interesting and very good reads. So this was the last pattern in the Heroines Shawl Club for 2016. If you were a subscriber to the club, you should have the pattern in your Ravelry inbox already, and then the kit should, with the yarn, should be arriving shortly. I would say either today or tomorrow, either the 1st or 2nd of November. So a fun knit, and despite the fact that the bind off is a little long and tedious, I won't tell you how many stitches are in that entire square, but other than that, it is a fairly quick knit. It's about 800 yards of a fingering weight yarn. And again, this was the Artio Sock that I used for this particular sample. So if you are interested in the clubs and seeing what I've got on tap for next year, please stay tuned through to the end because I'll have some more specific details about everything that's coming up for 2017. So those are finished. My other FO is the Strawberry and Cream Frappe socks. These are from the Coffee with CC collection. I'll show you a close-up of the really pretty stitch pattern on these. It's a fairly simple pattern on the leg and foot, and then, not that this is hard, but a slightly different ribbed lace pattern there up at the cuff. Just kind of makes a nice little frill at the top. I knit these basically as the pattern was written. I changed out the heel. It was originally a short row heel, and I put in the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And I think that's fairly close color-wise. The colorway is Parfait, and it was a new one in the shop. It is dyed up on my Aerten sock base, which is the Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon blend, and these worked up great. I didn't make any other adjustments to the pattern, knitted as written except for the heels. They are toe up, and it is a 4-pay pattern. It's one of 7 in the Coffee with CC collection. So I'm knitting this as part of the Coffee with CC knit along, as well as the Knitting Broomsticks Sock Club 2016. And they were my Socktober socks. If you've been participating in the Socktober stitch along in my Woolly Wonka Fibers group on Ravelry, you have through tomorrow tomorrow at noon, which is Wednesday, to post your finished sock pictures, and then I will be drawing a final prize winner. We've had prizes go out every week in October, and so this will kind of kick off the end of it. If you've participated, I certainly hope that you've enjoyed that. I know I have. This has been, it was fun to work on this pair. I really like them. I can foresee myself wearing these with a lot of things. They're kind of springy, but I think you could probably get by with wearing them with khakis or something like that. So those are finished. The other thing that I finished this week, just to tell you all, was the Kid Silk Haze, the ballerina pink Kid Silk Haze sweater I'd been working on. It is totally done except for putting on buttons and a little bit of finishing in the yoke. I'm waiting on some buttons. As soon as those come, pop those on. That sucker's done, which I'm very excited about. So that is what I have been kind of focusing on in the short term. I have then cast on a couple of new projects. The first of which is going to be a pair of colorwork mittens, and I'll talk more about those when we get to the clubs because they are the kickoff project for January. And I also cast on for one of the couple of pairs of holiday socks that I'm knitting. These are a gift for my nephew Charlie, and I'm knitting them up in the Gryffindor self-striping colorway. This one is from Mint Rain Yarns. Here is her card. She has an Etsy shop. The base is her Tough Sock, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's a self-striping colorway, as you will see. So I have started sock 1, and this is where I am currently. I have turned the heel, which I did in just kind of a charcoal gray. I wanted to not break up the stripe pattern, but I wanted something pretty neutral. So I just went with a striped gray in a sock base I carry that matches this sock base. And then I have started down the foot. So I'm doing these on US ones, the 2.25 millimeter, 60 stitches circumference with a 2x2 rib at the top. And then this is the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And I'm just, you know, knitting around and around till I get them finished. So I don't think that these will take me very long. I cast these on Sunday afternoon, I think. So, you know, kid socks do not take very long. And plain vanilla socks do not take that long. So anyway, this is where I am. I'm going to try to get this pair finished up, maybe not this week, but in the next week and a half. And then I can start on my second gift pair that I need to get finished. I don't like to, I'm not somebody who does very well with the Christmas gifts being shoved into boxes on like the 23rd and overnighted somewhere in the US. Not so good with that. So I like to have things finished kind of at the front end. So I'll be working on those this week, as well as the other smaller mittens pattern. So let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Spinning. I have finally finished spinning all of the singles of the merino bamboo blend that I have been showing you guys over and over, and I won't show it to you again, just simply because you've seen it, nothing new there. I need to ply those last 4 ounces they're on 2 bobbins. They need to be plied together for a 2-ply, and then that 8 ounces will be done. And I just realized while I was telling you guys this, I wanted to show you kind of what's on deck for my next project, and I've left it all the way across the room. So I'm going to pause for a second and grab that, and I will be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. I was not as organized as I thought I might be. So next up on deck is a gorgeous braid, which I thought was perfect for fall. This is from Funky Carolina. It is an 80-20 merino silk blend called Little Fall, and it's got gorgeous plums and a russet, kind of golden browns, some really dark, almost like damson plum color, little tiny peaks of some sky blue in there. Just really pretty. So that is going to go on the wheel next, which I am really looking forward to. So this has kind of been my carrot to push me through those last 4 ounces of singles. I do much better with smaller amounts, I think. My brain, I think, has gotten used to spinning 4 ounces of things, and so 4 ounces seems like I should be done. But anyway, so this is going to be in process as soon as I get the singles plied and the 8 ounces total of the merino bamboo blend of the Tyrian purple finished up. So this is next. Okay, so that is it for knitting and spinning. I'll give you guys a quick update on my stitchiness. I will be doing a more comprehensive floss tube type video if you're interested in the stitching ends of my life. You can pop over and view that video too. But I have finished Babushka's Blossoms. It is done. D is for done. I love how it came out. I have a frame on order. It's kind of a distressed, dark, it's not exactly black, but it's sort of similar to the color in her skirt. It's kind of a charcoaly, blacky gray. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like when it comes. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you order things online. But anyway, pattern again is from Plum Street Samplers. I stitched this on a bleached linen, 32 count linen. Followed the pattern. I used regular DMC floss and not the hand dyed floss for this one. But it is done, and while it was not done in time for Halloween, it should be done in time for Thanksgiving. I will get it framed and have that out with the rest of our kind of harvest fall decoration stuff over the next month with any luck. So that is done, which I am really, really happy about. And then the next project I started is another Christmas gift. It is the Frosty Flakes ornament from Little House Needleworks. And I am stitching it on a mocha linen. That's an over-dyed linen. Let me hold this up behind. And you can just ignore the stuff here at the top. That's the other ornament that's on the other half of this piece of fabric, which you guys have already seen. It's the hot chocolate one. So that's where I am with the snowman. I've got most of the border done, and I've started the little present down here. And there's a tree that comes up here that I need to work on. But this was maybe not even 2 hours worth of work so far. So moving along on it, and I certainly will have that done in time to go in the gift box here in another month. Sorry, cat hair everywhere. So that is what I'm working on for stitchy things. So that was kind of the fast version here. I have not used up a ton of my recording time, but let's talk about shop things. So this year in the shop upcoming, I'm going to be offering 4 clubs. They're all currently available in the shop, and I will link to that in the notes for the show. But here are your options. The first is the Fiber Club for hand spinners. If you sign up for this, you can opt for the whole year, or you can opt to do it as a quarterly set. So you get 3 months, pay for 3 months at a time. Each month you'll be getting a 4-ounce braid of a fiber. Every quarter we'll be doing one wool blend, so wool and silk, wool and bamboo, wool and alpaca, wool and something. And then the final one will be dyer's choice. I'm going to do some blended rovings again, like I did this past year. They're custom blended rovings, so it could be a mix of various fiber things in it. Or I'll use a fiber that I don't normally carry in the shop that's kind of new, or is a specialty blend but will be hand dyed. So those will give you your 3 packages every quarter. Shipping is included in that, and it is included in all the clubs. I guess I should say that. The price that you see on the website is the price. There's no shipping extra added on there. We're going to do 4 different inspirations over the course of 2017. And I think those will be fun. We'll be able to have sort of little groups of colorways that have a theme to them, but it won't be for the whole year. You also can opt for either the hand paint, multicolored, or a tonal dye, meaning something closer to a solid, but it'll be a multi-layered solid color, so lots of sort of heathery depth to it. Or you can, of course, order 1 4 ounces of the hand paint, 1 4 ounces of the tonal dyes, semi-solid, and then you have those to kind of mix and match at your convenience at your end. So that's club number 1. Club number 2 is the Sweater Club. We had a really good time with that this year. If you were in it, I certainly hope you enjoyed it. We are going to do the same kind of thing next year. There will be 2 sweaters, so you will get the pattern for the sweater, which you don't have to use, but you will have a pattern to match the yarn. And then you will get to have 2 hand-dyed sweater lots. You get to pick the color. I dye to order for these, so you'll be able to take a look and see what the sample looks like, and then go to the colorways section and pick a colorway that you love that fits into your wardrobe or something you always wanted to knit with, to make your very own version. I have size choices from 32-inch finished bust up to 52-inch finished bust. The 2 sweaters will both be women's sweaters this year. They will, the patterns will be available and the kits will ship out mid-March, mid-September 2017. And what we'll do for this is the same thing that we did this past year. It's basically an installment plan. You get 2 sweaters worth of hand-dyed yarn plus a pattern, and you pay for it over the course of the year in 4 installments. So the first installment that you would sign up for right now basically gets you your place, locks you in there. And then you'll get invoices for the balance of those other 3 payments to get you your 2 sweater lots. The first sweater is going to be the mid-March one. It is going to be on the Freya DK base, which is my 100% Blue Face Leicester. This is going to be a slightly longer, boxier, almost jacket type sweater with cables and some textured stitches and raglan sleeve shaping. So it will have that kind of sleeve inset. You can see that there. So that's going to be our first sweater. The second sweater of the year is going to be the September, mid-September one. And that is going to be on my Artien sock base, which is the merino cashmere nylon sock weight base. So it's a fingering weight sweater. It's going to be fairly simple. It will have some lace in the yoke, so a yoke construction where you have minimal finishing and a pretty little floral lace pattern in the yoke and on the sleeves. That'll be a slightly more fitted sweater, although not super fitted. And again, when you're choosing your size options, choose the size you want the finished sweater to be. So for instance, if you measure 40 inches around your bust and you like a couple inches of ease, order the 42 size. That makes sure you get enough yarn. You can make whatever adjustments you need. It won't hurt if you want to make it with less ease, but it will give you enough yarn to make it with as much ease as you like. And again, the patterns will be sized 32 to 52. So anywhere in that range, you'll see on the website, there's a drop-down menu with multiple choices for those sizes and their various prices. So that's Club 2. Club 3 and Club 4 are kind of the same theme. And I talked about this a little bit in last week's podcast. So this year, I'm getting away from the Heroines Club, which we've done several years in a row, and I'm offering 2 parallel clubs called the Herbarium Club. And they're based on plants, flowers, trees that you would find growing in a medieval herb garden. And so my inspiration for this club was the Brother Cadfael, the Welsh monk who's at Shrewsbury Abbey in the during medieval period. He's the herbalist at the monastery, but he also solves mysteries on the side. If you haven't checked the series out, the author is Ellis Peters. It's a great series. I think there's 23 books in it, so it can keep you occupied for quite a while. And there's also was a BBC series that was on for a while. Did not do all of the books, but a fair chunk of them. So that is going to be dividing the year up into 2 clubs. You can opt to do just one, just the other, or you can do all 12 months if you'd like a kit to show up at the beginning of every month. So the first group we'll talk about is the lace group, which will basically be like our lace club that has been the Heroines Club this past year. So there are 6 projects that are coming out. They're all fingering weight. Each of the kits will have enough yarn to complete the pattern, plus the pattern will be delivered to you in your Ravelry library. If you are somebody who thinks you just want to pick up the patterns, there will be the ebooks available, but they will not be available until the first of the year. So you'll have to wait a little bit for those because of how I have to set them up on Ravelry. I can't quite do it this far out. So if you want that, hold tight, and I'll make sure to remind you guys in the podcast. So the Lace Club is going to have 2 single skein projects and 4 2 skein projects. So there'll be 4 full-size shawls and then 2 smaller projects. February, we're starting out with a lace cowl, the Monk's Hood cowl. That's going to be on the Artio Sock. See, April is the Sweet Violets shawl. That's a full-sized piece. That's going to be in my Carradwin sock base. Next up is the Egalantine shawl, which is a gorgeous form of a climbing rose. That's going to be on the Artio Sock, which is this same sock base, the BFL Silk Blend. That's a full-size project as well. Next, we're going to do a small shawlette based on lavender fields. That will be coming on the Nimue sock base, which is the 50/50 silk merino as opposed to BFL sock yarn base. Then I've got in October, we'll move on to bracken, which is a type of fern. That will be a full-size 2-skein project, Nimue sock. That one will have beads, which will come with your kit. And then we're going to finish the year out with a Scots pine shawl on my Aerten Road base. Also a full-size lace project. So those projects, obviously, since they are lace, will have a lot of lace in them. Crazy that. Intermediate level, I would say you should at least know how to read charts. That will be a necessity. I won't have anything written, won't have the charted patterns written out. They will just be presented in chart form. Otherwise, the shaping will not be crazy, nothing too difficult, but you should know how to read charts. The second club, which will be the other 6 months of the year, and this will start in January, is going to be a texture and color combination club. So there'll be 3 projects that are color oriented and 3 projects that are texture oriented. So the first one of these is going to be based on snowdrops. That will be our January kit that will go out. That's going to be on the Aerten sock. It's a color work project. March is going to be kind of fun. Marilyn, who owns Blackwater Abbey Yarns, who, if you haven't tried her yarn, it's this great Irish spun tweedy heathered yarn. It's wonderful, and it's great for cable projects. So we're going to use that in March for a climbing vine and ivy shawl. So that will be on her sport weight, Blackwater Abbey. Let's see. May is going to be the Strawberries KAL. That's another color work project, and that will come to you on Rhiannon sock in a color pack. You'll have all the multiple colors in there ready to go. July is Wild Cherry socks. We're going to do that on my new barrel sock, which is the Targhee nylon sock weight base. That's going to be a textured pattern that will have some cabling and maybe a little lace mixed in with it, but it's primarily a textured sock. Then we've got a set of cowl and a set that's cowl and mitts. That will be, let's see, September. It's going to be on the Freya DK. It will be, it's wheat and barley, I believe is what it is. Yes, wheat and barley. So it's going to be a 2-color project with some texture and some slip stitch in there. Nothing too difficult on that. It won't be crazy. And then our final project for the Color Texture Club is November, which is Blackthorn. And that's going to be another set of 2 accessories on Aerten DK. So I've got all of those planned out. They are sort of in process, various and sundry stages. Like I dyed the yarn for the Egalantine Roses shawl yesterday. So those are all set up. They are available on the website for you to pick. If you are an overseas customer and you are interested in the last 2 clubs, and overseas meaning not US and not Canada, please choose the extra. You'll see there's a separate option for overseas customers. And I hate to do it, but shipping these days is absolutely killer. So I've had to add a little bit extra on. So you get a discount on your shipping. It gets you about 50% off your shipping. But I do have to charge you a little bit extra for that. So I apologize, and I wish that there was a cheaper way I could get products to you if you're overseas, but it is not a reality. So until that happens, or I figure out some way to, you know, have the carrier pigeon swoop in and take stuff back out, that's kind of where we are. So I think that is it. If you have any questions at all, queries, comments, any of those things, please feel free to leave me a comment here on the video, or you can always check in at the Ravelry Woolly Wonka Fibers group. I've got a thread set up for clubs that'll have all this information in it because I know it's a lot. It's a lot of specifics. And that way you can take your time to, read through it, review it, see if there's anything you want to ask about, and then decide if any of those sound good. Club, all the clubs will be open through Christmas. So if you want to have someone give this as a gift, you certainly can do that. The Sweater Club will stay open into the first quarter of 2017, just to give folks some extra time on that one, because I don't have to have things dyed and ready to ship right when the year starts, so we can extend that a little bit longer. As of this point, I'm not going to put a cap on numbers of participants. I've been able to keep up with it in the past, and we'll hope that that's the case again this year. I'd like to think that I can do that. There shouldn't be any problem if you decide you want to order closer to the holidays or have someone order for you closer to the holidays. You should be totally fine. Again, any questions, comments, queries, whatever, please feel free to get in touch. I'm always happy to chat a little bit about the projects and try to steer you in the right direction if you have some questions or are unsure about what might be the best choice for you. So that is it for this week. Lots to cover here in the end. Until I talk to you again next week, I hope you have a wonderful first week in November, wherever you are, with some great crafty time for yourself and some time to spend with loved ones and friends. So have a great week. I'll talk to you later.